Hi, welcome to Saturday. It is October the 14th, 2023, and it is time to stroll with the orchids. Now, normally what I do is I'll look over everything so I know what to point out to you guys, but today I thought I'd do it a little bit different. I thought we would look at, I'm not going to say all of them, but let's look at the majority of them and see if there's anything going on. And just as a heads up, Mr. Ghost here has decided that he needs to be wherever I am, and Mr. Loki here seems to think he's the boss man, so you might hear some fussing going on. If it gets to be too much, obviously I will pause and start again, and Ghost might trip me. So if you see this, that's what's going on. I did that one, by the way. And since we're right here at the bench, let's just start at the bench. Now, something I realized when I was doing my massive watering last weekend, this no ID Oncidium here has done so much better since I took it out of the clay pot and put it into this slotted pot. It is still heavy moss with some small bark and perlite mixed in, but she is really doing well. Not drying out as quickly, leaves aren't constituting as much, so I think I'm going to leave her in that mix. And then my Miltonia spectabilis here is starting on some root growth, and that I do know because I saw it when I was watering. You look right down, right by my finger here. That is, that is roots going down in there. So I'm keeping her damp but not wet because she is growing roots, but she's not really doing anything else, no new growth or anything that I can see. Let's look at our Makasaki back here. Anything going on back there that we can see other than, of course, leaf growth. And then this is the other half of it. It did split in half when I repotted it. I did clean her all up, and that's kind of what I was doing yesterday. I meant to do some videos yesterday and post one for you guys, but I got on a leaf cleaning spree, so that's why they're all nice and shiny. I got all the dust and everything off of them. And then my Mayan here, she was growing where the new growth was that way. I decided to move her this way just to give her a little more light on the new growth from the grow light that's right above us. Let's see. Let's look at my orange kiss here. Let's see. Those growths are going right nicely. And then, of course, my Wilsonera here is still working on her beautiful new growth. So I've been threatening to get rid of her, and she has decided she wants to stay because she has put on this growth here and is starting a second growth. Probably be another year or so before she blooms. She doesn't have that strength, and if she did try to bloom, obviously I would cut the spike. And then the Cattleya that we have here, this is my Montana Big Sky here. This new growth is coming along nicely, and then I thought a while back we saw a new growth. Is that a new growth right there? Oh, it is. Right there by my fingernail. Look at that. She is developing that one. Okay, and as you can see by her roots, all dried and desiccated, that is part of my broken water system, which is back on track because today, once I'm done filming, it is time for these girls, and the ones that are on this bottom shelf down here, I will be watering them. And of course wiping off leaves. And my Japonica, so been doing a little bit of research because I've had this one, I believe, since July of 21. This is the Sideria japonica, now known as a Phalaenopsis. I've read that they prefer a drier winter. So this winter, I am going to water her. I'm not going to let her dry out completely and start desiccating, but I am going to limit her water and see if maybe we can get a bloom this spring. This here is one of our ICPU orchids, the one that has the spike, I think. Yep, the one with the spike. I do see active root tips, so that is good. And I've also been paying attention ever since Sharon from Joyous Orchids mentioned that a lot of times she sees new root growth and then leaf growth. I've been watching my girls, and some of them I've noticed the same thing. Let me know if you notice that with your Phalaenopsis. And then this is another one that Let's see. No new root growth, nothing going on that we can see. So we'll just let her settle and do her thing. And then, of course, my Schilleriana from Norman's is, as you can see, rather dry. Definitely a watering day for her. I don't see, nope, nothing I see going on with her. Now, if you guys notice something on the plants as we're looking at them that I don't see, please let me know so I can also pay attention. And then this is the one that I got from Yoshi. Again, needs some water. They're not completely dry, but they are getting there. So again, I am trying to keep them on the damp side as opposed to letting them completely dry out. Obviously, when the water system was broken, meaning my water system, not the water itself, they did dry out completely. Fortunately, they didn't do any. Oh, look what I see, guys. Ha ha! Finally, something going on with this. I've had this one since May of 2023, as you can see. It's an ICPU. It does have a name. It is the MS Pink Brook. I don't know if you can see that back there. But finally, we have some action. We have a beautiful root tip popping out there. Well, that's exciting. So this is one that I will watch since I do see the root tip. And we're going to watch for leaf growth. I don't see anything quite yet. Nothing quite yet. And then my Mewtwo King here is working. I see a leaf. Let's see if we see anything in the pot. Now she has roots galore in her pot. Look at that. Lots and lots of lovely root tips. I love that. Oh yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. If we can just get a bloom from her, I just want to see what she looks like. I forgot, and I don't want to go look her up. And then this is my No ID Vanda, again from the Orchid Supply Store. And remember, guys, you can use coupon code TRISH at checkout on any amount, multiple times at Orchid Supply Store. You can get your Vandas. Almost my entire collection is now potted up in media from Orchid Supply Store, and most of the pots as well. As I've been doing repots, I've been changing them out. My Copper Queen here. Let's see what she's doing. Oh, look at there. Look at that root tip. Woohoo! All right, well, she is doing really well after her repot. Don't see any new shoots coming up quite yet. And I don't see any roots coming from the 3 new growths. Of course, 2 of them are kind of below the media, so I can't really see that, but the one on the top. And she's just kind of sitting here on this stool, and the stool is not very sturdy, so whenever I'm not recording or watering, anything like that, I have been putting my big bucket of lava rock in front of it to keep this monster from knocking it over by accident. And let's look up here. Let me stand over here with all these plants in the way. It's kind of hard to see. But I did move my, which one is this? Is this Macrobay Pops? It is. So I did move Macrobay Pops up here. And he does have, let's see, well he had, let's see if we can see it. There is a bloomer coming eventually from that. I don't know if you could see that or not. And then my Spicerianum is starting to come out. I cannot wait to see this. I'm thinking of taking a stake and kind of staking it up a little bit. Haven't quite decided yet. And then the Spotty, Direct Firm Spotty over here, her fans are doing really well. I haven't looked at her since I watered her. Let's move it over here. There we go. Not such a glare now. Look at that fan. Look how gorgeous. And this one. I'm very happy with that. Very happy indeed. And with the aerial roots that are staying nice. Look at that root tip. Oh my goodness. Just beautiful. And then this one here is the Xing Ying Heart right here. And the 2 paths, the Xing Ying Heart and the Macrobay Pops, I did get at my local nursery, Nick's. She is the one that had that one little root tip, and I'm babying this one, but the leaves are not desiccating, so whatever's going on inside that pot, she's taking care of herself. Then we have the red apple here. Let's see. Let me just put her on the edge. There we go. So this bloom should be open next Saturday where we can see her. This is just such a beautiful wine, deep wine Merlot colored bloom. And anything else going on with her that we can see at the moment? Nope. Alrighty. Let me set her back, or him back. I guess Paphiopedilums would be more of a him. There's that. And then my no ID Phalaenopsis here that I got at the local grocery store. She's got the, she's purple, white with the big purple splashes. And then my Phalaenopsis Bellina wild type. Look at this leaf. This is the longest leaf that she's grown for me. Now she came with this one, and this one. This was the first leaf that she grew for me, and it's kind of wanky, but it is what it is. And now look at that long one. Oh, gorgeous. And then Falcata is, I'm letting it dry out almost completely before I give her water. And I'm doing that because she is growing fans. So I don't want to completely cut off her water source. But she's not growing as quickly as she was in the spring. So let's see, any roots? Yeah, we have a couple of roots in there. And this is the one that gave me my surprise blooms earlier in the year. If I can find the pictures, I'll post them for those of you who missed it. And I have a plan for this. I don't like the way this is doing. So one of my Mercotes leaves fell off of this. As you can see, she's missing a leaf. So I just took the leaf and I just stuck it right up underneath. There's a piece of cork right here. I just stuck it underneath the cork into that moss. And that was about 2 weeks ago, so it's doing fine. It hasn't decided to die off. And then my Hariola retrocala that's in here is doing fine. But this Mercotes right here is, I don't like the way she looks. The baby back here, right in here, she looks okay. But I have a plan for this, so keep a lookout for that. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can see what we're going to do with our terrarium here. My variegated, this is supposed to be a variegated, what is this, African violet. She is starting to fill out with leaves. She doesn't have as much variegation as I was expecting. They kind of come out with quite the bit of variegation, and then as they get older, they just kind of have a little spotting around the edge. That's fine. Her blooms are gorgeous. And then Melstar here, when I let them dry out, this one kind of kinked a little bit right here, so to kind of strengthen that, I've kind of attached it loosely to another leaf to hold her up so she's not folded down. And then my After Dark here, is this the After Dark? Yeah, the Fred Clarkia After Dark. And I did purchase this one off of Amazon in August of 22, and she came with this little bulb down here and then this one, and grew this last year. So this year's growth is much stronger. I don't care if she blooms, I just want her to gain strength. And then eventually she'll grace us with those beautiful blooms. And then my Ninja Orchid here, this is the Phalaenopsis cornicervi variation Chateladay. Look at her. She's got lovely little root tip growing there. And do we see any leaves? Don't. She was just watered. That's why she looks super wet. But she was watered this morning. There we go. Woohoo! Me gently put everybody back where they belong. And then, of course, another no ID African violet. And then we have no ID Phalaenopsis Zelda. This is Sarai's orchid that we repotted about a year ago. And the media still looks great. Like, this media still looks amazing. Look how good that media looks. Like, it is still nice and fresh. And this is Orchid Supply media in an Orchid Supply pot. Lovely root tip. But we should be seeing these blooms in the next few weeks. Probably not next week, but a few weeks. And then the Tenifolia, what's going on with that? Zoom on in here. Looks like that one right there is trying to work on the bulb. And then we have Ladoria, Sweet Memory. Let's just take her out and see. So I did take the strap off that leaf finally because she is starting to harden off, so she's not going to droop down. But she's got that beautiful root tip right there on the outside and then roots in the pot. And this one I water just as it's approaching dryness. I don't let her dry completely out. She was one that during the broken system of mine, I did not let her dry out. I did kind of keep her watered. And then down here, some beautiful African violet here. I call this one lilac because look at the colors. Look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh, she's just beautiful. And then we have this one here. It's my Lacey. Isn't she pretty? I love this ruffling and that spotting against these dark green leaves. That is just, oh, she's just gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And then this is the No ID Phalaenopsis dendrobium that we repotted last week. And that root is still there. Has not decided to go away. And I did put that little piece of moss right there. It's just right on the top just to encourage it to go down. I don't see any new roots right now on it either. And then this one is the Phalaenopsis dendrobium that grew outside. And look at this cane. This was the previous growth. Look how much it's grown. Oh my goodness. I hope she blooms because I've never seen her in bloom. I purchased her outside of her bloom. She'd already been spent. And then let's see. Phalaenopsis hyacinth Venus. I see a leaf. And because she's in this clay pot, it's kind of hard to see what's going on with her. Oh, we have us a beautiful root tip right there. So there's something going on. That's good. And let's check our Tolumnia gyrac. I think this is the super brown. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, this is gyrac super brown. So that is her latest fan right there. Guys, look. Let me put her down so I can zoom in. I think we have another fan developing. Let's see. Oh, we do. Right there. I'm going to move that perlite because I don't want it to stay too wet next to it. There we go. Look at that. Oh, we have another growth. That's good. That's the most that she's done since she's been with me. She's done one fan since I've had her, and I got her back in September of 2021. So I've had her for about 2 years. So I think she likes it down here. I think I was giving her not enough light, and then I think I was giving her too much light, and now I think her lighting is just right. She is literally sitting underneath the grow light on the ceiling down here on the floor on this little shelf here. And one of the orchids that we just got back in September from Ken over at Orchid Supply Store. Let me show you guys something. Do you see it? Look at that. We have us a beautiful spike. She's got a beautiful root tip right there. Just amazing. Anything going on with this girl here? I don't want to pick her up because she's kind of awkward in the pot. Well, just still see the roots. And then this one, I love this leaf. And this is a mini. I think she's going to turn into a medium. And another thing, look what I see. Look at the roots on that girl. Now this is another one that we just got in September. And we have a leaf growing. Okay, I think she's going to be just fine. These leaves are firm, uber firm. So she has definitely got something going on. This is the work orchid that I keep saying I'm going to take it back to work, and I haven't yet, but I need to. So she's got some roots coming, I see. And it looks like there's a little spider living in there. You see the spider web? We're just going to leave it alone. I don't mind it. Oh, and we have a leaf coming. Okay. Well, did not notice that. These I haven't messed with. This one and that one right there are both in these net pots, again from the Orchid Supply Store. And don't really see much going on, but she does have some roots in there. And don't see any leaf growth on that. This is the one that we got a year ago in October, that this leaf was just starting. So she's doing fine. Anything else going on down here? Nope, let's get back up here. So this is a piece of my Hoya Crimson that broke off. So I just have her sitting in some Hoya mix. I haven't watered her at all. I just did this morning, so I'm letting that piece harden off prior to putting water in there. I don't want to rot anything. And Sherry Baby has got that bulb started, and it's gotten pretty big. And, ooh, hold on. I noticed a nice new growth. Look at that. Okay. So she's got 4 growths now. She's got this one. That's 2. And then we have 3, 4. Cool. Again, I'm hoping for this one to spike for me. And then what else? Oh, let's look at, I call this one the Maxillaria spotty because I can't say that name right there. That's just a lot. Just a lot. But let's see what's going on with her. Oh, do you guys see it? I see a new growth. Awesome saucin'. Okay. And then, of course, my Hawaiian treat is just exploding with all kinds of growths that's maturing. And let me see if I can zoom in because I didn't grab my stool, but I think one of those is not going to make it. So I think there's only 1 growth left in there. We're going to have to keep our fingers crossed, guys. I would love to take my Red Fantasy, that one back there in the white pot, down because, and I think I might do it after I get done filming, but let's see. Look at the bulbs. Look at that bulb. And then look at that bulb right there. Gee gads, that is ginormous. Enormous. And then these 2 new growths right here, whoops, sorry about that, on the Isabella are growing up instead of out. If I do notice them kind of poking this way, I will take one of my straps and strap it to this growth so that it grows up so I don't end up with this again. And let's move Kingianum out of the way real quick so we can kind of see what's going on in the back. So the Karina, Smilalia purpurata, she's doing fine, growing that new growth. And then Scary, just starting roots back there from what I saw. And then Kingianum, let me switch hands here because we've got some things going on in this pot. I just want to count all of her new growths. Let's see, so there's 1 right there in the center, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. She has 8 new growths coming along. So we should, in theory, with all that growth, see some blooms next spring. Fingers crossed. And this one, I let it dry out way too long. Look at how these pseudobulbs are all shriveled. So hopefully she'll bounce back. And this back here, I cannot remember the name of it. Snowflake. I think it's Snowflake. Snowflake or Snowbird. But she does have a new growth coming back there. And I have her turned around so that new growth kind of comes up towards this light. And then that growth right there, that's going to be a tiny little growth. It came off that back bulb. And let's see, this is the Renee Marquis Taylor. Looks like she has some roots going on in there. Oh, and let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, that new growth is coming right on along. I think we noticed that already, but I didn't notice how much it's grown. And then my Dendrobium spectabula. This is its latest growth, and I just want to show you the cane on that. Look how bulbous that is compared to this one. Look at the growth difference. So no spike or anything that I can see as of yet. And I think I noticed when I was watering, oh, I did. Do you see it? We have as a new growth on the Oncidium, or the Brasidium, sorry, Golden Gammon White Knight. So I can leave that one in the pot for a while. I did move the Taganaka that I was growing outside under the light, and that new growth is coming right on along. All the new growths on the Dendrobium green something another. Here, I'll zoom in on the tag so you can see on that one. And then my Australian type, my antelope type here, Dendrobium. I did turn it where it was going this way because that new growth back there was coming this way, so I want it straightened itself out. Not much going on the why not there. And then Elaine's, or Naomi's Delight, not Elaine's Delight. This is her latest growth here that she started outside and is finishing off inside. And then Pink Profusion, I did move her down here and from off the bench. That new growth is coming along just nicely. I did remove the sheathing away from it so that once it starts growing roots, those roots will go down into the media and not get stuck in the sheaths. She just has that one bulb, so we're trying to do our best with that one. Miss Twinkle here did get dried out quite a bit, as you can see all this constantining here. But she's bouncing back nicely. Like Hasty is, whoop, look at that beautiful bulb. Nice. Very nice. I love it. All right. Again, I don't care if she blooms. I just want her to get some strength in her. And then Second Love, Dendrobium Second Love, I did move down here. Looks like she's got some root activity there. And this new growth is doing fine. I've had this one since 2020. So I've had this one for 3 years. And it's put on more growth in the last season than it's put on the entire time it's been here. And she's pretty much got the same care. So I'm not sure why she's deciding to just bust out with growth now. And we've got the mini snowflake Latoria type that, let's just look at. Let's see. Up, we have a spike on that one. Let's see, do we have one on this one? Up, we do. Let's move that leaf out of the way so you can see. And down here we have chocolate chip. Oh, that looks like we have a bloom coming right there, well spiked. And then this one is, again, from the Orchid Supply Store. This is my Silver Wings. That new growth back there is doing well. You'll notice that it's strapped right there and strapped right there because those leaves, again, when she got super dry and dehydrated, those leaves just kind of folded over and there was a little kink, so I'm trying to straighten that out. Roy Taganago back here. I think that might be a spike coming on that back right there. Let me know for those of you who grow it. But I believe, because it's very similar to the ones that come out of the other Latoria. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And then, of course, Royal Chip. Look at all the growth on her. When I was wiping off the leaves, oh my goodness, she has so much new growth coming. And then this is one of the Rescue Phalaenopsis or ICPU Phalaenopsis that actually has a name right here with her nice leaf growth. And let's see, I don't see anything else. I don't want to pick her up again. She's kind of wanky in the pot. And then my Oro, Twinkle Oro here, this is the yellow one, is finishing off about 3 bulbs. So we should, in theory, in about a month or so or longer, maybe see some spikes coming out. And as we know, twinkle spikes take forever. As an example, this one here is still developing. It is starting to branch, so maybe soon we'll get some little white flowers. That's the little white one. Hibiki, since I moved it down to the shelf here, has really put off the growth. I mean, she's got quite a few keikis, but most of her growth are coming from the base of the canes. So she should be filling in. And possibly next spring, we might even get a few blooms. And let's see, Miss Vanda. She is not doing much of anything. She is working on this root right here. And of course, the leaf growth. And then up here, we have a no ID Oncidium. This is the other half of the one that's on the bench. Look at this. This is the Roy Taganaga that, again, ICP, excuse me, ICPU. I'm just waiting on this new growth to grow some roots so that I can get it off of this mount. And I don't know if I'm put it back on a mount or if I'm going to put it in a pot. I may put it back on a mount, but I'm going to put it on a rough mount, like a cork mount. I'm not going to leave it on the flat mount. Excuse me. I'm about to get up on the stool, so be patient with me real quick. So I'm just going to do a quick pass through of the girls on the top. I'm thinking of putting a grow light right above them. Haven't quite decided, but a Yapon Evergreen has opened up this. I love that little, I don't know if you can see the little green tips. And that just, let's see if I can, there we go. You see the green tips? Oh, just beautiful. And of course, look at this. Look at that spike. She's just like, just hold my coffee. I'm going to bloom. I'm going to grow roots. And then I just noticed a nice new leaf right there too. Just amazing. And then we have the Tai-Shing Fly Eagle over there growing a leaf. And look at the Hieroglyphica. I love that cluster of blooms. Just love it. That is just beautiful. Like, look at that little cluster. And those are all off of one spike. And then we have our little lone man over here. Bellina, I set up on a pot. Because of the way she's growing, I didn't want her to get hindered. So I did move her up a little bit. And then Abonensis, again, just working on a leaf. And there is some swelling to the budding, but probably not anytime soon. And then my Inscriptiosis, guys. I keep looking over this thing, looking for something. She's just not looking good at all. Not at all. I did cut off 2 of her spikes that dried up. I'm thinking of cutting the other 4 just to give her some energy. I mean, she's got roots, so she's doing fine. And if you guys hear Loki in the background, he's just fussing because Ghost is drinking some water. And then this is my Bellina Carula. Look at that gorgeous new leaf. That's just beautiful. Beautiful. And then my Summer Love fragrance here, which should be in bloom again when we see them next Saturday. Doing beautifully. And then my Sogo Vivian Leaf's Edge. I see a new leaf there. And nice root tip there coming from inside the pot. Nothing else going on there, but there's the pulchra. Okay, we see a new root there. I did do, let me move this over some. Hold on, let me put this down somewhere. Well, I guess I'll put her down here. And then let me grab the pulchra real quick. I did repot her. She was in a square pot, but her roots just didn't have the room. So I put her in this larger pot, cut up the moss. And so far, she's doing fantabulous. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, okay. And since I've done that, I have not seen a bunch of mealybugs that I've had to take off. I say a bunch, 1 or 2 every once in a while. So, hold on, is that one? I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to set this off to the side. So once I'm done, I can, let's see, where do I want to put her? I'll just put her right here. I can double check that and make sure. Let's see what else is going on up here, guys. This is the black Yin's Black Eagle. And for some reason, it senesced the two leaves that were on this side as it was growing this one. So she kind of looks a little funky, but you know what? She's doing her thing. We're going to let her be funky. Oh, my Vandopsis purpurea has a new leaf coming. I just noticed that when I was looking at her. It caught me out of the corner of my eye. And then Samara back here. Oh, she's just so pretty. I can't wait to see her bloom. And we have the Mini Mark. Oh, these leaves. I did turn her around this way. I'm hoping I didn't mess up her fat leaf growth doing that, but one will see. And what do we have going on down here? Oh, I put Lindley here for brighter light. I'm going to keep, again, growing her through the winter. I'm going to continue watering it, fertilizing it, as long as it's growing growths, because it is still working on the itty bitty growth right there. So she hasn't quite stopped yet, and it looks like we have another growth right there. Do you see that swelling there? So if she does start another growth, I will continue to feed and water her until she stops. And then I might give her like a month's rest with no watering. Haven't quite decided yet, because I want her to fill out this side. The Secret Wax Ball here has look at this growth. Let's see, can you see it? It's hard to put all this stuff around here. There we go. Look at it. Oh my goodness, it is really taken off. Awesome. And let's just see. I don't think she's going to bloom or anything off of this. Oh, wait. I feel something right at the bottom. So we might get a spike. Who knows? She's got another growth coming. We have another opportunity. These sheaths are developing rather nicely. Now, whether it'll bloom or not, we don't know, because I've had this one since 2019. And again, those might be practice. We'll just have to wait and see. But my sweet Aussie back here, our Aussie sweetness, let's see if I can get in there. It does have a growth. I can't focus it enough to show you. Let's see, back here, that growth on the Lois McNeil is still going. You can see it right there peeking through the leaves. So the Cattleya Leopoldii dark one crossed with Secret Wax Red Beauty. This sheath may or may not develop. It's dry. I doubt it will. But the good thing is she does have a lovely new growth coming, along with root tips growing. So that is a good thing. Did strap this one up a little bit. So this is my Horace Maxima crossed with Potnera Dick Smith. Again, another 2020, I believe. I've had her for about 3 years. But since December, so in the last year, we'll say 10 months, maybe a year, December, I don't know how to do the math, in about a year, let's say that. It has grown this one and this one after I repotted it with that layer of moss right below the roots, and then bark. And she is just working on that leaf. This is a soft clouds there. And then this one, oh, this one here is just gorgeous. And she does not have the typical rose smell of Cattleya. She actually smells like a combination of sweet tarts, jasmine, and magnolias. Probably makes no sense, but she has a very sweet smell. Let's see if I can get that glare off of there. Let's see. Maybe not. Okay. Nope, it's not going to happen. But that's the smell I get. My Maikei is finishing off this growth right here. And then which one is this? Yellow Bird. I love the fact that when you water these guys, these terreted leaves really open up. They do drink a lot of water too. Nodosa crossed with Small World. Again, lots of growths. My Encyclia, her growths are coming right along. It looks like this one is going to try to bulb out. There's a little bit of swelling. And then my Green Leopard here, I don't see any new growths coming. Let's zoom in and look. I see some swelling, but I don't see a growth. Oh, wait. Is that a growth? And it is. Okay, well, I guess she's working on another growth. And then I brought this one. This is the dendrobium that I can never pronounce. Let's see, turn it around. This one here. I brought it out so I could show you. Look at that bloom. That just snuck up on me. I was watering her this morning and I was like, what is that? And then there's the bloom. Beautiful. I'm just hoping that it opens up all the way this go around. But she's got plenty of growth on her. And she hangs in the kitchen in front of a southwest facing window. And the Potinera Elaine Taylor, I'm hoping that this growth will straighten itself out and come up. If not, once it gets a little bit longer, I will strap it to this one. But the other new growth right here, which was also growing flat, is starting to come up into the light. So I'm hoping it's not too late for this one. And then which one is this? This is Jane Austen. Again, purchased solely because it's Jane Austen, my favorite author. The blooms, from what I remember from the website, I bought this from Jules Orchids. Wasn't that impressive? But then again, I've had it for, I believe, a year. Yeah, September of 21. So I could have forgotten. Not looking it up. I like to be surprised. My Laelia Zip, aka Cattleya Zip. So sheath with nothing. But we do have this other lovely growth here that does have another sheath. So even if it doesn't bloom, at least it's developing a sheath with each one. And so eventually we are going to get us a bloom. We're going to see those beautiful, I believe they're orangey colored flowers. And then we have the not Copper Queen. Oh my gosh. What is the name of this one? Pearl Cooper. Pearl Cooper, who is just loving her life underneath the grow light, growing her leaves, and growing her cake. Growing a cake. And then, of course, Miss Maxima here, just doing what she does, which is just grow. She's got 4 more new growths. And ever since I cut back on the fertilizer, don't have this black tipping of the leaf. So I think I was just giving it too much fertilizer for what it was doing. I thought because of all the growth that perhaps it needed more. And apparently I was wrong. And then, of course, my Nodosa here, since I've been keeping her nicely watered. Look at this. Look how open these are. I don't know if you guys remember a few months ago, they were all like this, the new growth. They've just all started to open. And she has lots and lots of new growths. So let's slowly come down here and see what's going on. Other than, look at all the roots on this thing. I love that. I love that wild look. And then my Jiha's Pink Girl. And yeah, I think she is getting too much light under here, but I really like the way it looks, so I'm just leaving her. Not much going on with my Tadia Blush. And then again, I think I may have figured out what is going on with some of the orchids that kind of have this funky growth. As far as, like, do you see the discoloration, like she's lacking something? I ran out of my MSU and I was too lazy to order any. Let's just be truthful. So I ran to NYX and grabbed some orchid food there. I don't think that they liked it. Because some of them I continued using it just to see. And that one, and now that I think about it, my Inscriptiosis that's also struggling, same thing. I am back to my MSU only on everything, but it was just, I don't know what I was thinking. But that one there, let's see. And, oh, this one. So this one is staked. So this is one of the ones that I got from the Orchid Show. The Candy Sparkle Red Candy Cane, I think is, or Candy something, let's see. Candy Stripe crossed with Memora something, Mariah Sun something. Anyway, look at this. Let me pull her up a little bit so we can kind of see. Slide her out. But I was looking at her when I was watering, and I do see a root. Is that a root? Yes, I see a root there. And then there was something else on this side. Another root there. So I think this one is going to get repotted now that I see those roots. Because this is one of those that I feel like has the spag plug in it. And I don't want it to die off on me. Nothing much going here. And this is one of the other ones that I got from the Orchid Show, the Angel Eyes. This is the red one. Let's see. Oh, I see a root tip. You guys see it? Right there. So I'm going to wait. Oh, I see two root tips actually. I'm going to wait and see if those roots continue to develop, because if so, then both of them are going to get repotted. But she does have that nice new growth coming. So at the very least, I'll just have to baby her through that new growth until it starts developing some roots. And this one over here actually has another growth already maturing. So at the very least, I might get some roots off of that area as well. But as soon as I see roots, it's go time. My Angraecum is just really working on this leaf. And then that is pretty much it on that. And let's get on the flow. Let's see. This is the Renanthera monachica. That has another leaf right here. And eventually this leaf will kind of fold over. I've noticed that. And then I never talk about this one here. This is the Sun Circle. But she has that growth right there that she's finished. And as you can see, has another beautiful new growth coming. And then I hardly ever talk about this one, this Fritz Nicholas Spring Dance back here. But again, this is a 2019 purchase that was looking sad for a while, and the new growths were having some of that rusty look to them, but this one here seems to be coming out nice and clean. So that's good for me. Again, these pots you can get from the Orchid Supply Store as well. And my Hariella, both of them, they just don't look good. They don't look happy anymore. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with those. I may have to repot them, I think. I'm not sure. And then the Saruna finally did open up. Well, she started. She's not completely opened it. Let's just pull her out real quick. Take the zoom off. Sorry for all the stuff on the floor there, but part of living with dogs. I haven't vacuumed today yet. She's opening it, I guess I should say. She hasn't opened it all the way, and there's nothing in there, but that's okay. So I will be slowing down the water on her and giving her her little rest. I've had her since June of 22, so a little over a year. But she's done really well. So this year she actually put on 2 growths for me. Maybe next year I'll get 3 and then 4, and then eventually she'll outgrow that pot. That's the goal. And what's going on over here? So we do have that growth. That one is coming right along. And this one must not have a lot of roots in it, because I do water her quite frequently. This is large medium fir bark with some perlite. And then let's see, Miss Paphiopedilum here. Look at that root. And then we have, let's see how many, I believe I counted like 4 fans on her, which is amazing, seeing as she didn't come with all 4. So I've had these since May of 23 from Louisiana Orchid Connection. So that means that this Vandopsis here, Gigantea, took her 5 months to grow that leaf, because she started it just as she got into the collection, and it is now hardening off. And then my seedling Cattleya Leopoldii, she does have the one root we can see right there, but you can kind of see she's got that leaf that's coming, and then there's another little leaf I see down in there. And this is another one of Sarai's. This is, what does she call this one? I have the name on here. What does she call this one? She calls this one Indigo, because this is one of the ones that you can buy when they're blue. Well, it's when it rebloomed white with a pink lip. Gorgeous. I think it's going to be fine because when I was watering it the other day, I noticed it's got nice roots going down into the pot. So she's just going to look a little sad for a little bit. Oh, and then this is another one of those ICPU dendrobiums. I was looking at the one growth, but look, we have us another growth coming as well. So that's good. And we're just going to look over here as well. So these two right here, I would always assume that, you know, they didn't have anything in the pot. But I've noticed that when I water them, they do kind of stiffen up quite a bit, as does this one here. I did take and put some small medium bark on the top to kind of fill it in to hold the moisture in a little bit longer. Same thing with this one. And then up here, our little gaggle of plants. Snake plant is still doing marvelously. And I think my cymbidium, I'm not sure if these two growths are going to go anywhere. They're not, they're still kind of firm, but they're kind of papery at the top. So I'm just going to let her do her. And let me show you guys. I'm going to take her out of this light. So, dun, 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 dun. Let me move her around. Speciosa has opened. Look at that. Now, she does not have the lemony smell that a lot of the summer bloomers have. She actually has a really nice sweet smell with almost like a spice undertone. It just smells so good. And look at the little green tips on her. I think that is so cute. Just so cute. But I love it. I've had her since 2021. So 2 years. She grew leaves, lots of them, and finally graced me with a bloom. Thank you. Let's just get up close and personal real quick. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get her against it. There it is. Can you see the little green tip? Look how pretty that is. That is such a cute thing. Such a cute thing. Well, guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend. Let me know if you saw anything that I did not. And don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. And while I'm speaking of subscribe, I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed. I don't say it all the time, but I do appreciate it. You guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the next one.